Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club meeting tonight, the greatest club in the. Do we have an invocation, Paul?
Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us here today. Thank you for allowing us to have a seat well-attended foot race. And thank you for all of our members, especially those that came out of the reality.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And maybe you have a song. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. They know when it's a shame for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out the old ball game. Okay, do we have any visiting Rotarians today? Any visiting Rotarians? How about guests of Rotarians?
This is my stepson, Andy Martin, who just completed his stint in the Army as a military policeman in Fort Hood, Texas, and he'll be staying with us for a little bit. And Andy, would you like to say hi?
Hello, everyone. And that's all I have to say.
Welcome, Andrew. Mr. Van Jarsveld.
I have Brent Schiefelbein with the city of Sedro Woolley here today to listen to Nathan Salsina. Welcome,
go.
Brent.
And they'll be part of the program a little bit later. Any other visitors? Okay. Club business. Nick.
Quick 5-minute meeting after this for Team August. If you don't know if you're on Team August, come see me. I have a list. But yeah, just a quick little 5-minute and need to get caught up.
Okay, Carrie, do you have any club business? Very good. Thank you, Carrie. Mr. Brockstiles.
Okay, so we went through 4th of July, another great Sedro Woolley foot race. Nobody got hurt as far as I know, which is always a plus. And I want everybody that ran in the race or walked in the race, I want you to stand up. Stand up here. Let's see who went. So we got Chad and Christine and Carl. Anybody else? Okay, I did too. So great. Thanks for coming out and running. Anybody win their age group or anything like that? Did you win your age group? Right. Let's give him a big hand for that. Good job. Christine, what did you run the 2 mile or the 5 mile? What did you do anyway? Oh, I see what you do. But then when you look, if you want to go and look at the finishing things, she took like 5th place in the 5 mile race at 30 minutes. So I see how you do that. So Kyle, do you have anything to say as far as the number of runners and so forth? Here you go.
Yeah, it was a great race. We had pre-registered 230 and we had 425 that crossed the finish line so far. I think we are actually at 428, somewhere in there. And the numbers are coming in at about, including the sponsors, were very close to $13,000. So
Wow.
we should have net about $7,000 to the scholarships.
Okay, Kyle does all the work here, folks. So another nice round of applause right here. Okay. Okay, how many people actually were out on either the street corners to make sure people to get run over at registration? Mike, everybody raised their hands. So, and we got to give a big hand for Rebecca. She got about $4,500 or $5,000 worth of just sponsorships right off the top. So that's where a lot of this money comes from. So thanks for doing that. And Charlie Bush, he took out control over setting up all the water stations and setting up the race course and everything. So I appreciate that. So we're slowly going to be handing off some more duties, Kyle and I, over the next year. So this will keep running smoothly. And, you know, if we raise $7,500, that's, that's 3 scholarships right there, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, okay. And what we have here, this box right here is some leftover t-shirts. And I know you probably want one, right? But everybody can come and get a t-shirt. I think they're mostly mediums and extra larges, I think, but have them at it. If nobody wants them, we'll give those to Friendship House or Helping Hands or someplace so that people can actually wear them. And here's, announcement here.
Okay. Just for all of you folks that don't know this, but I have, I believe, about 30 years worth of these t-shirts. And they're in a box in my storage unit. And now that we got this room back here, that's be a good place for them. But I don't think I got the shirt from last year or this year. So, but there is about 1 or 2 yours I missed in the early days, Brock. So I'll bring them all over and I'll figure out which years are missing and maybe somebody can come up with one. So we can, okay, thanks.
Okay, that's it. Another Grace Race. We'll do it again next year. So Becky, go ahead.
When I was going to get the prizes for the prize table, I was at the dollar store and I had more than 100 prizes in my cart. And a guy at the end of the register, he said, "I'll get that." And I said, "No, it's over $100. It's for charity. It's for the kids." And he said, "No, I mean it. I got it." So half of our prizes were paid for.
Awesome.
Okay, any suggestions on things we can do better? Let us know, because that's the way it keeps getting better and better. So thanks.
Okay, very good. Any other announcements? Mr. Janicki.
So I commandeered the Rusty Zipper, group. We're going to have a work party out at Patrick's playground on Tuesday from like 9:30 to like 2 o'clock max. And we got to torque whatever those things are, torque things on the whole thing. And we got to put a little white thing on them. So anyhow, and then we're going to bring in sand. We're going to set another toy there, and we're going to put a whole bunch more bark down so that the kids can bounce. Anyhow, we're doing it on Tuesday. Anyone who wants to show up, bring a rake or a juice or something, because we're going to try to get it done in like 3 or 4 hours.
Very good. Any other announcements?
Chris wants to mention the email that she sent out.
Chris Rothenbuehler? Okay, Chris Rothenbuehler sent an email out. It's been out since last night, I think. Yep, so make sure you read her email. I'm assuming it's about the summer concert series. And do we have a raffle? Raffle. Number 68, Paula.
I-18. Final number 073.
Go ahead, either spin it or, yep. Beer's in the closet. So there's ice cream coming to Doug. Okay, any other, is that it with the raffle? Okay, Sergeant of Arms. There you are, right here. All right. Nope, you can't do it.
Okay.
Yep.
Apparently I'm not allowed. Okay, very cool. So you may have noticed that today is a historic moment. It's the very first Rotary meeting for our new president. Yay! So he gets to be the subject of the day. And the first question to the very first table with my glass.
They have a ringer at that table for this question, Yulia. A ringer at that.
Well, maybe we'll switch the question. Well, okay. No, we'll be kind. So, Mr. Phil served for the Sedro Woolley School District for how many years? Going once, going twice. Pick a number. Oh, they're getting into their wallets. So there we go. We know the answer. Well, pick it. Pick the number. 10. Very close. 8. So $1 would be fine. And this table, please. So what school district did our president start his teaching career? And the answer is correct. It's Seattle area, Seattle Rainier Beach High.
Are you a Viking?
You're free.
Yeah. That's $2.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask the question, but Phil, can you provide the answer after they give the answer, okay?
I will try.
Okay, try to answer your own question. Yes. Well, and thank you to Joe Allen to doing the interview and gathering all this information. All right, so the question for you guys is, did Mr. Phil always want to be a teacher, or did he want some other career first? Sorry, bing, wrong. $1 from the table. Well, since he didn't always want to be a teacher, you have 3 choices. He wanted to be in the career of, let's see, what do I come up here? We've got 3 options: oceanography, medicine, and political science. What's your choice? Oh, you guys are good. You don't have to use your wallets. And we're coming to this one. All right, Mr. Phil sprained his knee doing what activity last year? I'll give you a few options: skiing, bowling, and water skiing. Water skiing, excellent choice. Yes, then that is correct. Well, I guess I'm not letting you answer the question. Well, this is kind of a very small table. So shall we find you as well? Let's see. You want me to pay? Well, try this one though. You might get that. If he could meet one US president, which one would that be? Which president would Phil would really like to meet if there was only one that he could meet in person? Lincoln, and the answer is correct. Thank you. I think we're done. Well, thank you so much. And again, welcome.
Okay, thank you, Yulia. Nice job. And happy bucks. So I'll start, Joellen. I've got 20 happy bucks. At the installation the other night, I made a disparaging remark about lawyers and politicians. So, and I was called on that. So I apologize for because they are some of our greatest people in our community. We couldn't do anything without them. So happy 20 to pay for not disparaging our politicians and attorneys.
Okay.
I don't have a happy buck, but I have a little story about politicians and lawyers. My grandson yesterday fell off a set of monkey bars on a county playground and broke his arm. And so, someone says, well, you should sue the county. And I said, well, that's not a good idea. My wife's the county commissioner. And if you sue the county, they'll just pay you and then they'll remove the monkey bars because that's just the way it works. So we decided that his broken arm was his fault. He fell off of it and we're ending it at that. So the happy bucks are for that we're not suing the county and they're not taking the toy out. But I do have a grandson with a broken arm.
So I've got a happy 20 bucks. 20 years ago today, I headed down to Seattle to celebrate a great log rodeo season that we had. And I went to a place called the Timberline that had disco dancing. And on the dance floor, I met Michael Bonacci. It was love at first sight. And then 11 years after that date, on this day, right around the same time we met, we got married on a Sunday afternoon over at Maple Hall in LaConner. And it was love at first sight. And we have had a joyous celebration. And we're hoping that next year, and if next year I'm still married, I will have $100 to put in because our marriage rights are in serious jeopardy right now. So I will do that. Mark my words, mark my words. I'll put on $100 if I'm still legally married next year.
I'm also happy. And I'm going to Disneyland on Saturday, so I'm going to celebrate a couple birthdays.
Oh, lots of happy people today.
Well, I actually have 222 happy bucks because I have been gone for about 2.5 years, give or take. I did the math, and that's about how much I should probably owe. So I'm happy to be back in person, and I'm going to try to move a meeting that's been kind of keeping me away the last little bit of time to now I have some more say in moving the meeting before I didn't, and I'm hoping to be back here again a lot more regularly. So thank you for waiting.
I have a handful of bucks. I don't know how many, but it's our second year being a pro rodeo here in Sedro Woolley, and this year was absolutely phenomenal. It was packed houses, and thank you so many of the people here who are sponsors. It's a real going concern out there. One person that I have to talk about, Rotarian, we had our back area where the horses are and the cattle is an absolute, it's just run down and unsafe. But John Schmidt, we had a rascal rodeo, which is really cool. Come over for the disabled, the autistics, and the handicapped kids. They get to ride a horse, and he and Hank were involved in that. And then he spent 2 days back there patching up, really horrible gates and things on his own time, and happy to do it. And so I want just mostly give a happy buck for John Schmidt. You see him, tell him how grateful we were.
Okay.
Okay, I have a happy 50 because it's been a while since I've stood up. Congratulations, Phil Brockman. First meeting officially underway. So thank you for leading us. And then it was so fun to be at the rodeo and get to, like, I got to tell Wyatt, my son, I was like, I know that guy, because you were doing the flag. And so it's just really special to have you lead us in that. And then also I want to do a thank you to Janicki Industries. They always do such a nice job of the banners that flank our school on 3rd. And we're just really grateful for their donation and what they do to provide for our school. So thank you.
Very good.
I've got a happy 15. My middle daughter is going to have her first baby, and sounds like it's about a Christmas time, and we found out yesterday it's a boy. So I got a hunting partner.
And I got a happy 20. I get to watch the parade next year. Have done that one time in the last 29 years. It was kind of sad though. My little partner, last time I get a ride in the parade with my grandson, and it was a lot of fun. I wanted him to get up and stand up and wave at the crowd as we're driving around. And he said, no, Papa, I have to wear my seatbelt. It's not safe. So if you saw Ty from here on up, that's because it's safe.
Well, if you know anything about me, you know that I'm a baseball nut. And I just 2 weeks ago got a piece of my bucket list fulfilled, going to Boston to play my Cardinals. We lost 2 out of 3, but I went all over that 1912 built stadium, every inch of it, and it was just a blast. I came back with no money because Boston is not a cheap town.
Hey, anybody else?
And we have one more announcement. Carl has an announcement.
Oh, fellow Rotarians and guests, we're going to have something new this year. Becky LD's brainchild. We're going to have a 5-club area I, is it? Area I, so all the clubs in Area I, which are the Skagit Valley. We're going to have a party at our house on September 17th or 15th. Yeah. Okay, in September, we're going to have a party. And so it'll be a chance for all the clubs to, whoever wants to come out and mingle and have fun. So just letting you know it's on the horizon.
Very good. Thank you, Carl.
And while we still all have our wallets out, look what we discovered. We have a $2 bill we want to auction out. So who would give us, well, I'm not very good at that. Actually, Carl, would just do the $5? Okay, I hear $5. Who, $5 going once. Hi, I'm not really not good at that. 5 going to $5, $6. I hear $6. $6 going once, $6 going twice, $6. Come on, $10. Anyone? $10 for $2 bill. Very rare. $6. It is. Thank you so much, Carl. Well, I don't know. Now you can do more. I have 3 $2 bills. We're going to put them aside. Let you warm up for the next meeting. We'll auction them again. Be ready.
Okay. All right. That brings us to the program. If there's no other club business, Joellen, would you like to introduce our program person?
Certainly can. So today for our program, we have Nathan Salsina with the Sedro Woolley Public Works, a very, very dear friend of mine, and he's going to go over all the projects that they're working on and that we have worked with them on. So Nathan Salsina.
Perfect.
Okay, Councilmember Kesty was scraping the bottom of the barrel for speakers this week, but I'll do my best to try to make this interesting for you guys. So yeah, just a little overview of all the different things we've had going on so far this year. I last spoke to you guys on Zoom, I think about a year ago, and I was hoping that a couple of these things were a little bit further along in the process, but we're working on it. But So kind of our big ticket project that we've got going on right now is Olmsted Park. It's up at the near the entrance to the old Northern State Hospital, the Swift Center. And it's about a 15-acre site. And this is a diagram. It's got parking, walking paths, volleyball courts, basketball courts, a new playground, restrooms, covered picnic buildings. And it's going to be something that's kind of on par with Riverfront Park. It's going to be kind of the city's second destination style park. And one of the really cool features about this thing is it's got a little switchback trail that goes down to the pond. And that's the little thing that you see jetting out into the pond on the south side is it's an ADA accessible floating fishing dock. So really cool feature. And we're going to be excited to finally get moving on this project. So just if you're not familiar, that's the upper right corner. That's the location of the park within the city. And so this is the existing site conditions looking to the east, looking upriver. So it's kind of a big open field right now, not much going on. And this is a view looking southwest. And so just a couple of notes on this. So we have no developed city parks north of Highway 20, which is where a big center of the population expansion is happening. So it fits right in with our comprehensive plan to make this happen. So, and yeah. So this just further highlights the future housing developments and population explosion that's kind of happening over there. The Olmsted Park site in green, and then the two spots in yellow are areas that are currently they're in various stages of development, so and planning. And our population is continuing to trend up. I think it may have slowed down a little bit because our I can't really speak to this, but I know our building permits have slowed down significantly since the first of the year. So, but we're trending pretty close, and I think we're about 12,500 now, something like that. So all of the buildings that are going to be on site are designed to mimic the Spanish colonial style of the existing buildings up at the hospital. Mark Christ did the design work on this, and he's in the process right now of getting us to the 100% level plan so we can go to bid. But it's going to be really neat when it gets built. And we've got a lot of support for this project from both non-governmental and governmental entities, major employers, service clubs, and our government neighbors, I guess. So this is the kind of the fun part. It's a very expensive project. It's $2,338,000 is kind of where it's sitting at. And the good news is we think, unless inflation continues to take a bite out of this thing, we think we have it fully funded right now. And it's coming from a combination of a $500,000 grant from the Recreation Conservation Office through the state, $400,000 from our partners at the Port of Skagit, $269,000 from the Park Impact Fee Fund, $113,000 from the Sewer Utility Fund. That's $25,000 in donated labor and in-kind materials, and ARPA funds, $800,000. American Recovery, I can't remember the acronym. Anyway, COVID money, COVID relief money, and then also a $500,000 earmark from Congressman Rick Larson's office. So it's a very expensive project, but it's going to be a very nice destination park for the city. So anyway, that's just a site plan again. Any questions about that or anything? So I took a call from Brian Adams, the director of Skagit County Parks, just before I came in the room here, and I asked him because what's holding our project up right now is permitting. We had to apply for what's called a JARPA permit from the federal government because there's so many wetlands involved. It's been a very challenging site to develop, but so that's kind of why we're stalled right now, is we're waiting on that federal permit. We applied for it back in March, and I asked Brian, because they just got a federal permit for a project up in Marble Mountain. I said, how long did you have to wait for your JARPA permit? And he told me 2 years. I hadn't shared that with the mayor or Charlie yet, so that's very disappointing. So that's my biggest concern is this, as costs continue to escalate, can we still afford to build it? But we'll see how that all works out. So another project that we're working on is the Memorial Park redevelopment project, and that's right outside the doors here. So this is another one that we're pretty excited about. It's going to renovate the playground, add new picnic buildings, do a couple of neat features for this building and the senior center. And we're excited about this because this campus is developing into a really cool thing. You've got the senior citizen population, you've got the YMCA doing programs next door, got this building for the larger events. So it's going to be very nice. And as far as funding for this project, it's a $650,000 project, and $600,000 is allocated from the ARPA money, COVID relief. Wish I could remember that acronym, American Rescue and Recovery. Yeah, anyway. So where we're at with this one, the project is in final design and engineering, and we plan to go to bid and construct this project in the spring of 2023 with the ribbon cutting about this time next year. So, so not as many, there's no wetlands on this site. So that's really the holdup. Is anytime there's, waters of the state, that's, add some time to it. So. And I just wanted to, you guys, if you've ever seen Caddyshack, I like this movie, but it's been a pretty rough year for the parks and for all of us, really. We've dealt with windstorms, and then we've gone on to floods, snow and ice, horrific rainfall, and it's been a challenging year to say the least. So this is some photos of the flood damage down at Riverfront Park, and if you can look on that tree trunk that's right here in the foreground, that water had actually dropped about 2 feet by the time I got down there and took this picture. So the whole area was inundated, and you got down there to take a look at some of the damage. It was a lot of work to get it put back in order. So the little pillars that you see kind of in the middle of the picture there, those are about 3 feet from the ground. So that kind of gives you an idea. And they're right along River Road. So. And then this is kind of the aftermath after the waters receded. We had chain link fence damage, gravel restoration, just a ton of garbage to haul away, wood debris, just a huge mess. Some more photos. The amphitheater, the Rotary symbol right there, was covered by about 2 or 3 inches of river silt. So the water level right there was just about to just a little bit above where the Rotary symbol is there on the right. So. If anybody was down there when we were when the club and the city were building that thing, you remember the foundations that went down into the ground there. I mean, they were like half the size of this room, so that's why. But it's solid as a rock, didn't move a bit. So just more photos. We lost a baseball dugout and a backstop. The bleachers were kind of picked up and destroyed, but we were able to get those back together. And one of the things we're working with right now with FEMA is we're trying to replace these bleachers with movable, towable bleachers so that in the event of a future flood, we can hook onto them and pull them to higher ground. So just an overview of all the damages down there. So we had about $88,000 worth of chain link fencing repairs, $125,000 of gravel restoration, and 12 grand of just other miscellaneous, debris haul off and different things. So altogether about 250 grand worth of damages down there. So it was pretty significant. And unfortunately, this is the 3rd time since I've been with the city that we've had this level of damage down there. So, but each time we learn things and we mitigate things, and it seems to be getting less every time. So that's a good thing. So another thing I wanted to talk about is the covered barbecue project down at Riverfront. So this was a project that we were working with Chief Tucker and was it Team May, I think, on. So it initially started out as a project just to replace the rotten posts at the bottom where they were touching the ground. And the further we got into the project, we discovered some pretty significant dry rot kind of throughout the whole structure. So what started out as a maintenance project turned into kind of a whole rebuild. So, so that's us removing the old building, hauling it away. And so that's the new building under construction. If you guys haven't been down there to take a look at this thing yet, you got to check it out. Kevin and Brent, I get to stand up here and talk and, do the fun stuff, but those guys are the ones that really do the work. I just flap my beak. That's what I tell people. So stuck. Oh. So yeah, this is something like you'd have in your backyard. And on the first day the first weekend that we had it open, one of the groups that had the building rented went through and put a bunch of nails into it, drove Kevin over the edge. So, but yeah, it's very nice, very well built. We had Mark Christ come down and take a look at it for us, make sure we were doing everything correctly. Anyway, Chief Tucker. So anyway, that's all I have for that part of it. I have a second part that I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to talk just a little bit about what the YMCA has going next door. So yeah, this is a slideshow that was compiled by Kat Lohman, the Director of Advancement for the Y, and Ben Lashinsky, their Communications Manager. So why the Y and how we got here? Sedro Woolley Rec Center overview. I'm going to talk about their drop-in program and a couple of their other programs that they've got going, and then how we can all support what they're doing. So under the mayor's leadership, when the library vacated the old library, we had this vacant building sitting here and everybody was thinking, gosh, what can we do with that space? So through all those discussions and everything, we approached the Y and they said, yeah, we can run that. That'd be great. So this is a ribbon cutting that we had just a few weeks ago. And just a quote from Dean, the Skagit Y is thrilled to partner with the city of Sedro Woolley. This opportunity to provide programming for youth aligns with our mission and our commitment to youth development. So right now they're operating 8 weeks of free youth programs, and the city applied for a grant to support those programs, but it's not, their funding is not a permanent thing. So they're currently trying to explore alternative funding methods to keep things going over there. So but right now they have a drop-in center, and they've got air hockey tables, ping pong tables, books, and just a good place for the kids to go in the summertime and have snacks and do activities. And right now they've, at the time of this slideshow, they had 41 youth registered after the first week. And they're also doing some outside programs, a free running club, Monday through Thursday from 4 to 6. And the kids get free running gear with shoes and everything. And yeah, they had 35 participants ranging from grades 5 through 12. So they're also doing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays evenings, they're operating a flag football program. This photo right here is from the first day of the program. So that's a real picture of the kids out at Winnie Hauser Park. And they're doing it in partnership with NFL Flag. The NFL provides the jerseys and the flags. And it's, yeah, like I said, it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 5:30 to 7:30 out at Winnie Hauser. And yeah, they had 72 participants in this program. So it was pretty popular. So what's next? Dean says that we see these programs as something that should continue past this summer as a preventative measure to keep kids in a positive mindset and learning positive things that can help them launch into adulthood. So anyway, stay tuned for a survey that's going to go out to youth and families in mid to late July to ask the community directly what they would like to see around. And if, let's say, anyway. If you have funding ideas, Kat Lohman would love to hear from everybody. And other ways that you can support the programs, they have a wish list on Amazon, and encourage youth to use the drop-in center. And I don't have this slide, but I'll give you guys some business cards. If anybody wants any of this contact information when we're all through, I can send it to you. So, but yeah, we want to keep that going, and it's been a great partnership for us because we don't have the recreation side of our parks department in the city. And it's been really good where we can, provide the facilities and provide the support, but somebody else runs the programs. So it's the most cost-effective way to deliver that for the citizenry. So yeah, we're excited about it. And that's about all I had. Did you want to say anything, Mayor, about that? And I know that the mayor is going to have Dean Snyder, the YMCA CEO, back later in the fall to give a more detailed upgrade or update on all the programs that they're doing. So lots of cool stuff happening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, so the limits of the job will start at the south end of the patio. So I think when we were talking about that, we were talking about it being on the patio, right? Oh, it was off? Okay. Okay. Mhm. Sure. Mhm. Yeah, so we've got a full plate of projects over the next few years, and I really hope that we can get going on Olmsted Park. But yes, sir.
So, well, I think it's really awesome. Great job. And for some of the new members, we're committed $125,000 next president to the YMCA building. And I think we're the final installment of that. So it's a great partnership with the government and great facility. Great job. You're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Great partnership that we have with the city and the club. So Louis. Yeah, so it's set aside for future park development, and it's identified in our comp plan, I think like 5 to 7 years out. So it'll just be a vacant space right now. We're gonna get a sign made that just says Future City Park, and we're gonna try to maintain the grass a little bit better so people can at least go out there and maybe throw a picnic table out there, and throw a ball and have a picnic. But as far as significant development, that's several years out. So, yep. Mike? No, thank you very much.
Nathan, thank you, and you and Brent and Kevin for all the work that you've done. I'm looking for that trusty parting gift, but I don't see it right now, but we'll get it to you. The pen. We do have scheduled, is it next Thursday, Eric? Next Friday, scheduled to begin work on the sound system. So we're getting there. So keep good thoughts for that. I want to thank Team July and Joellen. She's got a kid at the emergency room right now, and here she is. So thank you, Joellen, for coming, and Team July, nice job. Team August, remember you have a meeting right after here. Work party Tuesday at Patrick's Playground. Did I miss anything? Any other announcements? T-shirts? Are they donations, or are you accepting donations? And they've done all their work. Okay. All right, so I'll call this meeting to close, and thank you for coming to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club's, the greatest club in the universe.